Secure terminal boot up complete. Identity verified. Welcome, Command Staff. You're accessing a Level 4 classified briefing. I'm your designated tactical analyst, and today I'll be guiding you through this highly sensitive threat assessment explainer. Our focus is a highly volatile anomaly known as SCP-020. This is not a drill, and the information we're covering is absolutely critical for our ongoing global containment operations. Let's get started. Here is our operational agenda. We'll be moving methodically through 5 parameters: object class and containment, pathology and biological profile, psychological and behavioral effects, initial discovery, and finally, we'll review an MTF field transcript. Section 1. Object class and containment. Keter level threat parameters. For those of you newly promoted to this clearance level, a Keter designation means this anomaly is exceedingly difficult to consistently contain, and it poses a severe active threat to operational secrecy. We're dealing with a highly aggressive, fast-spreading organism here. So, how do we mitigate a Keter-level threat like this? Right now, our samples of SCP-020 are stored in sealed cultivation chambers inside a containment room over at Biological Research Area 12. The entry protocols are entirely uncompromising. We are talking strict airlock access only. Any personnel entering must don full biosafety level 5 gear, complete with independent rebreathers. And on your way out, a mandatory aggressive antifungal disinfection sequence. To keep human contact to an absolute minimum, nutrients for the captive organism are administered entirely through automated robotic systems. That cultivation chamber has to stay sealed. We rely heavily on hermetically sealed video surveillance cameras inside the room, which undergo daily mandatory integrity checks. Look, a single microfracture in a lens housing is all it takes for a catastrophic personnel exposure. Moving to Section 2, Pathology and Biological Profile, the unseen contagion. We're shifting now from how we lock it up to exactly what it is we're locking up. SCP-020 is a fast-spreading fungal organism, but trust me, it is nothing like any standard biological pathogen we have on record. Here is the anomaly's core terrifying trait. The organism possesses an unknown effect that renders it completely invisible to direct observation. You literally cannot see it with the naked eye, or even under a state-of-the-art microscope. SCP-020 is visible only when viewed through photographic or video surveillance. Let that sink in. The very screen you're watching right now is the only technology keeping you aware of its presence. You could be standing in a room full of it, and you wouldn't know a thing until it was far too late. This brings us to Section 3, Psychological and Behavioral Effects, Spore-Induced Sociological Subversion. Because once SCP-020 takes hold, usually inside a human residence, it forms a colony and begins to produce spores. And these spores don't just attack the physical body, they systematically hijack the neurological and behavioral centers of the human host. The infection follows a pretty terrifying progression. First, infected subjects will artificially crank up the heat and humidity inside their homes, basically creating a giant incubator. Next, they experience this sudden, intense sociability, actively inviting acquaintances into their homes just to spread the organism. Third, that invisible mold starts growing directly on the living subjects. Finally, when the spores reach a critical concentration, the host's health crashes rapidly, inevitably ending in death. And here is the absolute tactical nightmare of this pathogen. The threat doesn't end when the host dies. The deceased bodies actually become secondary transmission vectors. When emergency responders, healthcare workers, or local morgue transports come to handle the bodies, they're walking right into an invisible spore cloud. The organism essentially weaponizes our own emergency response infrastructure against us. Let's look at Section 4, Initial Discovery and Neutralization. Incident Report redacted. We need to understand the historical context of how the Foundation first identified this threat and the extreme measures required to handle it. Our very first encounter happened when an undercover agent embedded in a local civilian population flagged some dramatic, totally uncharacteristic personality changes in the staff working at the local hospital. That triggered an immediate investigation by a containment team, and what they discovered was a literal worst-case scenario. The infection hadn't just taken the hospital. The majority of the entire town was already infected. The total number of civilians compromised during this incident, well, it's redacted. The exact figure is heavily classified for your own psychological operational security, but you just need to understand that it represents a massive, irrecoverable loss of the civilian populace in that sector. Given the Keter-level threat and the invisible nature of the spores, surgical extraction was completely out of the question. We had to enact standard scorched earth protocols. The infected civilian population was terminated, and the entire town was subsequently incinerated. We scrubbed the event from public record under the cover story of a devastating local flash forest fire. An extreme measure, absolutely, but mathematically necessary to prevent a global pandemic. Let's move into Section 5, MTF ATA-10 Field Transcript. Audio/video log excerpt, See No Evil. We're going to review raw footage taken during that very initial containment operation. This transcript gives us some crucial ground-level insight into those behavioral anomalies we were just discussing. Here's the scenario. Team 2 is moving to secure a target residence using UAV heat signatures. Team 2 lead reports they're in place and ready to breach. Suddenly, T-22 interrupts. The door to the target residence just opens from the inside before the breach can even be initiated. Tactical surprise is instantly gone. Now, through the camera feeds back at command, which, remember, is the only way to actually see the anomaly, surveillance confirmed a civilian woman standing in the doorway holding a kitchen knife. But much more distressingly, the cameras revealed that nearly 2/3 of her face was entirely covered by thick SCP-020 mold growths. To the naked eyes of the tactical team standing right in front of her, however, she looked like a perfectly normal, unharmed civilian. So despite holding a weapon and staring down heavily armed tactical operatives, her reaction was entirely dictated by the fungal colony. She greeted them warmly. "Well, hello there, gentlemen. Care to take a breather inside?" When the operatives demanded she drop the weapon, she simply responded, "Don't be silly. Come on in and stay a while." The organism's drive to spread completely overrides all human survival instincts. Even as the task force lead escalated his commands, shouting at her to drop the knife, the infected woman just kept pleading with them. We just want to have some guests. Please, come in. The psychological subversion is absolute at this stage. The host is entirely a vessel for the colony's expansion. The confrontation ended predictably, but brutally. It's assumed the infected civilian noticed Operative T-24 carrying a primed incendiary weapon, which is a direct threat to the fungal colony. She lunged forward with the knife. The resulting audio is expunged for security purposes, but it was immediately followed by T2 lead, giving the command to open fire. The threat was neutralized with extreme prejudice. That brings us to our final section, Status Update. Current operational threat level. We've reviewed the containment, the pathology, and the historical precedent. But command staff, this isn't just a history lesson. SCP-020 is not safely confined to Area 12. To date, we have had over 12 distinct outbreaks of SCP-020 reported globally. Foundation intelligence and field teams are out there right now conducting massive, coordinated investigations to track the source of these ongoing outbreaks and desperately trying to develop viable preventative measures. We are actively fighting a war against an enemy we literally cannot look at. Which leaves us with the most critical question of this briefing. With over 12 active outbreaks on record, where is the next invisible colony growing right now? It could be a neighboring town. It could be a local hospital. Hell, it could be in the walls of the very facility you sleep in. Trust your instruments, verify your camera feeds, and maintain absolute vigilance. This concludes the Threat Assessment Explainer on SCP-020. Secure your terminals. Dismissed. This concludes today's briefing. If you wish to maintain your current clearance level and ensure continued access to the Versarian database, a subscription to this channel is mandatory. Secure your connection by leaving a like on this file, and log your requests in the comments section below to dictate which anomaly we unseal next. Stay vigilant and expect your next set of logs every day. Secure, contain, protect.